Hey y'all, welcome back. So as I was sitting here, watching my little macaroon videos, um, I, just started thinking about something and stuff just started coming to me as always. And, I was just like, your girl gotta put it out there, you know what I'm saying? And so basically, um, this happened to me over a few, like I want to say like couple, it was like in a few weeks span or whatever the situation may be. All right, baby. So oftentimes we put ourselves in this energy of the want, right? You want this, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that car, you want that apartment, you want that house, you want those sneakers, you want that outfit, you want to go on that vacation, you want to do this, you want that, you want to do this. And that also puts out a, vibrational energy of, lack and desperation. It's like, because I don't have it, I want it, I want it, I want it. So, for example, take somebody who's, right, let me see, what example I'm going to give y'all. All right, take for example somebody, looking for an apartment, right? And they're looking for an apartment and they like, yo, I want that apartment, I want this apartment, whatever the situation may be. They just keep putting out the energy of want, right? I want this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want this, I want that. And like I said, that puts out the vibration of I don't have. So therefore, the universe is going to continue to put you on this chaser spree of chasing what you already don't have. And the moment you take a step back and say, I don't want that. I deserve that plus 10 times more. I deserve, let's just say if it was like a one bedroom apartment in a really nice neighborhood, I mean, they had the amenities and stuff there, it was just real, it was just real whatever, like it was something that, it was cool, like I said, the appliance and everything, it was up to date. It was, up to date stuff, but to you, it's not what you actually wanted, right? Let's say you wanted like, you know, a big kitchen and you want tons of cabinet and you want this big refrigerator with a lot of space in there. You want like the ice machine, like ice thing on your refrigerator and stuff like that. You want a big island with, your the cabinets under the bottom for like your pots and pans, and you wanted these big windows, you want a great view, and a walk-in, you wanted an ensuite bathroom, a nice size walk-in closet. You wanted to do what it do because it's what you want. And you go and you see that, you go and you looking at these apartments or whatever, and they not up to par, but because you fiending for it, you willing to settle for it. You understand? And it's like, the kitchen is alright. It's not that big, but I make do. That it has a small island. There's no cabinets under the island. There's not many cabinets to store your canned goods or whatever in it. The refrigerator's type small. You don't have no ensuite bathroom. The walk-in closet, this baby, it's like a walk in, bump my shoulder and come back out. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not really what you desire, what you deserve, because you just manifesting a whole bunch of, you like you're basically setting whatever, right? And the moment you actually take a step back and say, this is not what I want, because I deserve what I actually desire. I deserve, this type of apartment. I deserve this, and I'm not going to settle for this because something I know. You gotta affirm it. You gotta claim it. I know something else is coming. I know another apartment is going to pop up that's going to be exactly what I deserve and exactly, everything I dreamed of times 10. Like, I'm going to have the best view, and I'm going to have the kitchen that I'm going to have that, I desire. And my, you really pump yourself up, and you really get yourself in that mood and stuff like that. Like, you hype now. You hype because now you just sitting there, you talking to yourself, you like, baby, like, my kitchen gonna be lit. My cabinet's gonna be this color. This is gonna be the color of my couch, my living room, blah blah blah. All this other stuff, right? You just putting it all into motion or whatever. And you like, what? I'm not gonna take this apartment because this is not of me. And if I take this apartment, this is just be me settling for what I truly don't deserve. This is not of me. I deserve my dream place because I work, I bust my ass, blah blah blah, and I deserve to live comfortably. Like, I deserve to sit back, relax, and not worry about a goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? And the moment you step back, and the moment you actually realize, like, maybe this is not for me. You know what? This is not for me, and I know something bigger and better and more grand is coming. I know this is coming because I can feel it, I can sense it, I know it. Whether or not it takes a couple of weeks, it takes a couple of months, it's next year, whatever the situation may be, I know it's coming. Maybe, this is just God's way of telling me, stack up some more money, or whatever you was trying to do, whatever career, entrepreneur, type of endeavors you was trying to do, like, go start a business, go and do this, go and do that in the meantime while we manifest this thing. Because maybe the apartment or the house that you trying to, you're manifesting, maybe that's not built yet, right? Or maybe it's people that's living in there that's about to move out really, really soon. So, God is just like, baby, just stay put, have patience, relax, have fun, live your life, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about it. We got you. The place that you're manifesting, either one, is not ready yet. Or somebody else is living in it and they're about to move, so stay still, stay put, work on you some more, good stuff like that. Maybe you gotta move to a whole new state. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe you gotta move to another state or another town or whatever. Baby, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care. So, you do your thing, you fall back, you don't put no worries or nothing in there. You out there, doing your thing, living life, having fun, being authentically and unapologetically you, child. Okay. And you just out there doing your thing. Now, all of a something, let's say you're looking for an apartment, right? And you have, the apps, I don't know, like Apartment Finder or apartment.com. I don't know if they have apps, but I'm just saying, right? And let's say you have apps and you get a notification, or you get several notifications, and in those notifications, these places are not in your desired area. For some of them might be, some of them might not be, right? But you get these notifications for apartments or your home, or a home that's available. And you look through them, and baby, it's exactly what you wanted times a million, right? It's exactly what you wanted times a million. And you're like blown away. So now you're like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So you out there, if you have like a realtor or whatever, you sending it to that. If it's like an apartment where you can call them or whatever, you could like put in your application, like you're hitting them up, letting them know, hey, I'm interested, I want to come and check it out, and blah blah blah. Y'all get in contact with each other, y'all set it up, you go down there, and when I tell you, the kitchen is ginormous. The island, the cabinet space, the refrigerator, dishwasher, wash machine, dryer, microwave. You have the best view ever. You on a high floor, so you getting that view. You on a high floor. You have, you was manifesting a 1 bedroom. Now you have 2 bedrooms, and you have a ensuite in your bed. You having a whole ensuite that was more than what you even thought of. Like it's mind blowing. Your walk-in closet, baby, you could keep walking in for days. Like, it's so big, it's so spacious. You got racks and rails, and you can really just finesse it and love it how you want. Like, it's in a beautiful location and all of that, right? So now, mind you, you was thinking about taking this other place that didn't serve you, right? It wasn't what you deserve. It wasn't what you desire. It wasn't what you was manifesting. It wasn't of you. But because you was so, I want, you was such in that desperate lack energy, you was just willing to take it because it was available. But something was like, nah, holds up, and you did that. And now look at you, right? So I boom. So so I had been like, man, I wanna, like, move up in, my career, my job titles and stuff like that. So at first I was looking for like supervisor positions and stuff like that. And then I was just like, why look for supervisor positions where I can look for assistant manager positions? Because I know I'm dope and I know I can handle and I'm capable of handling anything because I'm just that person. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know me and I know the type of person that I am. So I'm being a supervisor and stuff like that is good, but your girl deserves to be an assistant store manager. Like, I deserve to be at ASM. You understand what I'm saying? I deserve that title. So I was going, online and looking at places, like, opportunities and stuff like that. And I started, to put in for, supervisor positions and, ASM positions and stuff like that. Never in my life have I been a goddamn supervisor or, you know, like that. Like, I've been like a lead and stuff like that, which is a part of, the supervisory team. But, whatever, it is what it is. And I remember it was a new store opening up, and once a new store is opening up, they basically, hire for every position. So they was hiring for every position. So I was like, all right, let me put in for, key holder manager position, because at one location they was only doing key holder, and the other location they was doing, like, supervisor and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, two different locations, same company, let me put in. And it was basically a let me see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always go by what's the best that can happen. So it was a let me see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me just put in it, and if I get it, I get it, and if I don't, I don't. Like, that's just what it is. So I put it in. Both of them, I got hit up for both of them and stuff like that. And like I said, I put it for um other places as well. Some of them, one thing about it, I know, it's like when something isn't meant for you, it will automatically fail. Like, communication will be messed up. The emails will go to spam. Or you won't be able to make that interview or anything like that. Like, something will always go wrong when that thing just isn't for you. So once that happens, you got to just look at it and be like, maybe that wasn't for me. So I'm going to just fall back on that. Like, if the opportunity presents itself again, then we'll see where we go from there. So, like I said, I had other opportunities, like, other interviews and stuff like that. Those went by the wayside. So I was like, all right, it's obviously not for me. So let me just kick those, let me just can those and whatever. So as I got to the like I said, the one company with the two positions, they both wound up hitting me up like, hey, we want to set up something with you, blah blah blah, come in on, when can you come in? So I basically set up the thing, and how it happened was one of the HR people was writing me from both accounts, and it confused me. So when I would go and message him back, it would take him mad long to reply and stuff like that. So I think I wound up missing one of them, which was the supervisor one, I think it was, because I was just trying to get the dates, together, because he was hitting me up about both of them, and it was just like I'm trying to get my date together, but he wouldn't, like, he wasn't like hitting me back, like it was taking him that long. So it was like, okay, I have this set up for this one. I'm trying to, get this one together. And it was like, if he was confusing himself, which was confusing me, because I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, I was like, what the hell is really happening? What the hell is really going on? So I was just like, you know what? It's whatever. So one of them I wound up missing. And I was like, it is what it is. Like, that's just the kind of, and it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. And then I went to the other one, and that one I was running late. Like, remember what I said? When something is not for you, obstacles and stuff like that, delays will happen for you not to make it to something in whatever the situation may be. So I wound up getting there like a half hour late. And me, I'm the type of person, like, if I'm late to something really important to me, it's a no go to me, because it means that something is off. You know what I'm saying? Like, something, like, it's not for you. Like, that's not your vibe. That's not your thing. Like, it's not for you. And I remember I walked past the store, and the store was so small. It was so tiny, and I was just like, I see it. Because me, I'm the type of person, like, I like to work in stores that's spacious, that has like a lot of space where I can maneuver. We're not all crowded up on each other and stuff like that. So when I walk past the store, I walk past the store like 3 times to make sure that I was seeing what I was seeing. And I was just like, and then I started to look at like the dress code. And I was like, baby, she likes to be free. She likes to be able to wear what she wear, and it was giving very, slacks, and it was just like, a certain type of dress code and stuff like that. And I was like, baby, she ain't that girl. Like, she not that girl, whatever the situation may be. She's not that girl. And I remember I walked back, and I walked away from the store, and I remember I was just like, it is what it is. And I sat down on the chair, and I was like, that wasn't for me. It wasn't meant for me, because I know something bigger and something better is coming my way. Like, obviously, I didn't make this for a specific reason. Like, it was great to get out the house and travel to this other location, but I was like, you know what? That's not it. It's not for me. It's not for me. So that's what I was saying. I was like, and I kept telling myself that. I was like, you know what? I know, this didn't work out, because something else is coming, something else bigger, something else more than what I even expected. It's approaching me, and basically I had to basically get that out of my energy, that out of the way, in order for me to let this other thing come in. So as I was sitting there, I was just affirming that to myself, like, something bigger and something better is coming in, something that's going to offer me more, something that I'm going to be a little bit more filled in, and it's going to be a higher position, more pay, all this other stuff, just affirming it, just putting it out there, just putting it out there. Then I just kind of let it go, right? Kind of let it go, and I went about my business. And then, over like the days, I had like probably like two other, companies hit me up and stuff like that, whatever those situations may be. And then, like, a couple of days after that, like, it was all in the same week though, I started getting, remember I was telling you, like, I was putting in for assistant store manager and stuff like that, ASMs, and I started getting, hit up from companies like, oh, hey, we see that you applied to our ASM position. We would like to, Zoom meet you, or, bring you into the store and have a one-on-one conversation and see, if you're a fit and where we're going with this, and And remember, I tell you, I was applying for like key holders and supervisors position, and when I started to say, like, no, I deserve a higher position. I deserve a ASM position and stuff like that, I started applying it to those things, but I didn't put any expectations on them. It was like it is what it is. Like, if it's for me, it shall be. And if they don't, if it's not, then it won't, it won't manifest or whatever. Like, it's just is what it is. And I started to really maneuver in that energy and stuff like that. And I want to tell y'all, like, even when y'all, trying to buy a car, getting into a relationship, working on yourselves, it could be a career or a job thing for y'all as well, or like a home thing, and you have to know that you deserve more and you deserve better, and not always just settle for what's already there. Most people would settle for what's already there instead of saying, no, I deserve more, I deserve better. Even if that requires you leaving a job that the job that you love, everybody cool and stuff there. It's like, are you going to settle for, being comfortable, or are you going to go after a higher, accomplishment in your life? Like, if you got cool friends at that job, I'm pretty sure if y'all got each other's social media or number, y'all could always like, hey, what y'all doing this day? Let's get up, let's hang out, and whatever the situation may be. Boom. And if they don't reply, then fuck it. All right. They wasn't really fucking with you in the first place. But it's like, are you going to settle for comfortability? Or are you going to go after something you deserve, something that you know is a little bit more fulfilling for yourself at the end of the day? Because I always tell people, like, even when I'm at my jobs and stuff like that, like, I'm not proving myself to nobody but myself. Like, I want to prove to me that I can be, whatever situation. I can be whatever I choose to be in that situation. So if that means being a top seller, then that's what it is. And I'm gonna be the top seller for myself, because I want to prove to myself that I can be better every day at achieving and beating my goals of the previous day. You know what I'm saying? So let's say if I worked at a job and my goal was, let's say if it was like peak season, fall, winter season, and my goal for like the holiday was, let's just say, $15,000, $20,000 or whatever. I'm gonna go for 50 because I know that I can do it. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not proving anything to anyone but myself, because I know that I can go over that. Like, I know my power and my ability to achieve beyond, you know, set limitations of other people. So if somebody else put you at a limitation of 15,000, you want to say, that's nice, but watch me hit 50,000. You understand what I'm saying? Let me watch me hit 100,000, because I'm proving to myself that I can, go up and beyond. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? It might not be you, but that's just me. So, like I said, back to my story. Once I pretty much let it go and I started to affirm that something bigger and better was coming towards me, I started getting the ASMs interviews and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, oh fucking okay. But at the end of the day, I'm not like holding on to it and putting any type of attachment onto it. I'm pretty much just kind of letting it flow. Because like I said, if it's for you, it's going to be for you. If it's not, then whatever. These could be, especially when you get things like this can also be testers to see if you really want it. The universe could be throwing you curveballs to see, okay, let's, put this in motion to see if this person actually wants it, if this person is actually going to go after it, if this person is actually going to take that leap of faith and leave that job, or leave that home, or get a new car, or whatever the situation may be, right? Let's see if they're going to actually do it. And if they do it, then boom, we know what we got. We got something even better for that person. you know. But like I said, you gotta know that you deserve more than the bare minimum. You gotta know that you deserve more than other people's set limitations of you. You gotta know that not only do you want to achieve things for yourself, because the only person you need to be proving anything to and for is yourself. You don't need to be proving anything to no goddamn boss. You don't need to be proving anything to no damn professor. You don't need to be proving anything to your parents, your friends, other family members, a love interest, all that other stuff. Like, you gotta prove that you are worthy and that you deserve these things to yourself first and foremost. Because if you don't, then you're gonna be living in other people's, set expectations and limitations of you. And so, like I said, once I started to affirm those things, and I was just like, like, baby deserve this position. Baby deserve this type of pay. Baby deserve this, and that. And sometimes, I do talk about myself in third party situations, or sometimes I do call myself baby. It just is what it is. That's just how I talk about myself. And I'm like, baby girl or baby deserves X, Y, and Z, and that's what baby is going to get. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's just what it is. Baby girl is not selling for the bare minimums. Like, if you come in with the bare minimums, you can take it and shove it up your ass. That's the type of time I'm coming on. So, even now, I've been, I had my manager come to me and present an offer to me and stuff like that. And I'm like, do I want to take that because it's comfortable, it's reasonable, it's right here, or do I want to take that leap of faith and do something different, do something that I never done before? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to come to the conclusion. This is the conclusion, the decision of, like, child, what is going on with my words? Okay, whatever. You got to come to the decision where you have to decide what you want to do. Are you going to stay in comfort, or you going to take leap of faith and you're going to do something else? So, I mean, it's great for you to say something like, "Oh, I want to take my time and whatever," but baby, that time is clicking. That time is ticking, because just like they offer you something, they can snatch it away and offer it to the next person who's going to be willing to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? Not every situation is meant for you to jump on. That's like a relationship. Not every relationship is meant for you to get into. You know what I'm saying? Not every car is meant for you to have. Not every home is meant for you to live in. You understand what I'm saying? Not every friend is meant to be your friend. So you have to come to this sound, grounded decision. It's like, what am I going to do? And you got to be able to think and take your emotions out of it. But you got to know how to, like, let the emotions kind of flow in it. So it's like emotions versus logic, and you gotta make it make sense. Because if it don't make sense, you're not gonna stick with it, whatever. Um, so yeah, so basically that was that, and it was funny because, like I said, as I was sitting there at the other place and affirming that something bigger and better is coming, things, and I just kind of let it go. Things just kind of started presenting itself before me, and um it's amazing. I'm telling y'all, like, the moment that y'all really just kind of just like take a step back, affirm greater things is happening to you, start to believe it, and put in the work behind it. Like I said, if it's a job title that you want a higher job title, then start going and applying to those job titles. If you're a supervisor and you want to be a general manager, start going and applying for GM, positions and stuff like that, and just keep on applying. And you never know who might hit you up, or what might happen. You never might know what might happen. So you got to just keep on trying and keep on, affirming and believing that you deserve this, you know whatever it is. Like you deserve it. You want a G wagon. You deserve that G wagon. But how you gonna get that G wagon though? What are you gonna do to get that G wagon? You gonna save up your money? You gonna start a business? You gonna like what are you gonna do to get that G wagon? Because it's not gonna just come to you. It's not gonna just be outside your place with a bow on it and be like, here you go, I'm here. Like, but what are you gonna do to get that G wagon? How are you gonna go about getting it? So then you got to start to set plans into motion and stuff like that. You want a new apartment or whatever. Do you got first month rent security? Do you got money for furniture? Do you got if you live in a place where you don't have a car but you need a car and now you got to take Ubers and stuff back and forth, do you got money for that? Do you got money for your other bills and your other necessities and stuff like that? Like, you got to start to look at everything. Like, do you make enough to cover this rent and to take care of yourself? On top of that, it's like, you in a relationship with somebody and it's like, I really don't want to be with this person. Baby, once you get that feeling that you don't want to be with somebody, it's time to go. It's no trying to hold on. Oh, we got kids. Oh, let's do it because of the religion, the faith. Baby, no. Ain't no love there. Ain't no feeling there. I got to go. We not working on shit. I gotta go because if I'm not happy now, I'm not gonna be happy in the long run. I'm not gonna be happy in the future. So no, I'm out. Like, bye. Um, everybody not like that though. You got people that really try to hold on and make it work, and it's like it's not working. It's not working. You're beating a dead horse. It's not working. It's not working. And they're like, no, I know it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. And it's like you like running into brick walls. I see. That must be your special hobby lobby. Um, but yeah, I'm a little bit all over the place. You would have thought that I had coffee and I didn't. Maybe that's just like kind of like the withdrawal happening now. Um, but yeah, that was just something that I wanted to get on and pretty much say. Because now just looking back on these things that have happened to me, it's amazing. It's fun. It could be funny depending on the moment, but it's like it's really dope though. It's really dope, and I feel like even us as people, even myself, sometimes we gotta give ourselves not a little bit, but a lot more credit than what we normally do, than what we're doing now. Like, we can't like half-ass our credit to ourselves. Like, we gotta start like really, hyping ourselves up and being our own hype man and our own biggest fans, and really just giving us that credit that we know we deserve. Because at the end of the day, who gonna take care of us? Nobody but us. So at the end of the day, why? Like, you gotta start doing all this other, wonderful, amazing things for yourself. Don't sit up there and wait for the dude or wait for somebody or wait for your manager to give you a position. Like, if they talking about it, be like, okay, but once you start to see that they moving funny, you make your move. Okay, y'all moving funny. I listen. I can go elsewhere. Okay, I can take my talents and skills elsewhere. Okay, but anyways, I'm just rambling on right now because I am tired. Baby girl, baby girl, gotta get some sleep. Um, and yeah, so I want to thank you all for stopping by and, listening to this message. Hope it resonates with somebody out there somewhere. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment on the channel. And y'all have a good night, all right? Or a good day, a good afternoon, a good morning, a good evening, whatever, all right?